Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The road to success is not a red carpet. It's a long, jagged, often silent walk in shoes. Nobody else will fit toward a destination only you were called to reach. And make no mistake, it's lonely. But you know what else is lonely? Regret. Regret is watching someone else live the life you knew you could have had. If you had only tried harder, if you had only bet on yourself, if you had only gotten up that one more time when the world knocked you down. Success is lonely, but so is watching the years roll by, knowing you buried your potential under fear. So pick your pain, because both paths will ask for sacrifice. Both demand you pay. One is the price of discipline, the other the price of despair. There is no easy way out. You think success is all champagne and trophies. No. It's missed birthdays. It's nights where nobody texts back. It's quiet rooms full of loud thoughts. It's people misunderstanding your purpose. And sometimes it's even the people closest to you calling you crazy for chasing something they can't see. But success doesn't need a cheerleading squad. It needs your decision. And decision means incision. Cutting away the distractions, the excuses, the toxic comfort of waiting for a sign when you were supposed to be the sign. You see, some of you are waiting for permission to rise, waiting for the stars to align. But stars don't align, you do. You align your habits. You align your time. You align your spirit with the future you believe in. That takes guts. That takes vision. That takes waking up every morning and declaring, this might be hard, but I will not let regret become my roommate. Because regret doesn't knock. Regret moves in silently. It creeps in through missed opportunities. It sneaks in when you keep scrolling, stalling, making excuses, watching everyone else build while you dream without doing. And the worst part, regret is loyal. It stays with you longer than the people who said they'd support you, but disappeared when the climb got steep. Success may not come with a crowd, but regret brings a choir. All the voices in your head saying, what if? What if I had gone for it? What if I had spoken up? What if I had taken the risk when I had the chance? But that's the thing. The chance is now, not later, not someday. There is no perfect time. There is only time, and what you do with it determines whether you taste the quiet solitude of greatness or choke on the silence of what could have been. Don't let your fear of being alone on the journey keep you chained to people who don't believe in movement. Sometimes you've got to walk away from the crowd to walk into your calling. You've got to stop asking for company and start asking for clarity. Because when God gives you a vision, He doesn't always give you an audience. He gives you a burden, and that burden becomes your blueprint. But you've got to carry it. You've got to build with bloody hands when life punches you in the mouth. You've got to keep showing up when the applause disappears. You've got to remind yourself who you are when the mirror reflects exhaustion, not excitement. That's real success. It's not sexy. It's not filtered. It's not posted on Instagram. It's built in the trenches of relentless belief. It's carved in the silence of 4 a.m. decisions. It's forged in every moment where you wanted to quit and didn't. You want to be remembered, then be willing to be forgotten for a while. Be willing to disappear and work. Be willing to shut the world out until your inner world is unshakable. Because success doesn't start with applause. It starts with alignment. It starts with doing what you said you would do, even after the mood in which you said it has left you. It starts with understanding that discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. And listen to me, nobody's coming to save you. Not your mama, not your mentor, not your friends, not your boss, not even your partner. It's you and your dreams, you and your calling, you and the question, am I willing to do what it takes even if it means walking alone? Because yes, success is lonely, but in that loneliness, you find something sacred. You find your voice, you find your strength, you find your grit. You discover that you are not as fragile as they made you believe. You are a storm dressed like a person. You are fire wearing flesh. And when you rise from the quiet, when you step out of the shadows you built in, you will not need validation. You will be the validation. People will ask how you did it. They'll say you're lucky. They won't know the nights you cried, the bridges you burned, the boundaries you built, the sacrifices you made. the hunger you carry. They won't see the loneliness, but you'll remember it, and you'll know it was worth it because you were never building for the crowd. You were building for the crown. You weren't chasing fame. You were chasing freedom, the kind of freedom that regret can never give you. Regret ties you down with guilt. It tells you you're too late, too old, too far behind. But success, real success, it whispers to your soul, you are right on time to start again, right on time to rewrite the narrative, right on time to prove that pain didn't kill you, it crafted you. So don't fear being alone on the climb. Fear being surrounded in comfort and never moving, because the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. And you were not born to stay small. You were born to stretch, to soar, to scare yourself a little each day with how much potential you're finally tapping into. So next time you feel lonely on the journey, remind yourself, I chose this path. I chose the fight. I chose to climb because I chose to win, not for them, not for likes, not even for revenge, for peace, because success buys you something. Regret never will. The peace of knowing you gave it everything, that you ran your race, that you didn't shrink, that you didn't let fear steal your fire, that you didn't look back at the end and say, I wish I had. Instead, you'll say, I did, I dared, I conquered, even if nobody clapped, even if nobody believed, even if nobody came. You came, and you conquered the loneliest war of all, the one inside. So yes, success is lonely, but regret is a life sentence. And today you get to choose your cell or your crown. Choose wisely. So what's it gonna be? Another day wasted scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel, or the day you finally step into your own? You keep waiting for a sign. Here it is. This is your wake-up call, your thunderclap moment, your soul's alarm clock screaming, get up. You've got work to do. You've got battles to win. You've got a legacy to build, not just for you, but for every soul who'll one day find their strength in your story, because someone's counting on you, even if they don't know your name yet, even if you haven't met them, even if they're not born yet. There's a version of you 5 years from now that's either proud of you or praying you change. Make them proud, because you don't just owe it to the world, you owe it to that younger version of yourself, the one who dreamed without fear, who believed without proof, who whispered prayers into the night, hoping somebody was listening. Well, somebody was, and that somebody is you. You're the answer to your own prayer. But answers only show up for those willing to knock. You want more? Knock. You want peace? Knock. You want transformation? Pound on the door until your knuckles bleed. And when it still doesn't open, build your own. Because too many people are waiting for success to feel easy. Too many people want the crown without the cross. Too many want the spotlight without the shadows. But you were never meant for shallow waters. You were born to go deep, to walk through storms and still stand, to lose and still lead, to get knocked down and grin as you rise again, because there's something unbreakable in you that can't be taught, only tested. You're being tested right now. You're being refined, not rejected. You're being forged, not forgotten, because success isn't a destination. It's a decision repeated every single day in the face of everything that says give up. And let me say this loud for the people in the back. You will lose friends. You will confuse family. You will walk into rooms where no one claps, where no one sees you, where people look through you like you're invisible. But you walk in anyway, because you're not here for validation. You're here for victory. You didn't come this far just to be seen. You came to make impact, and impact doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't beg to be liked. It doesn't dim itself to fit into fragile egos. It walks in with shoulders back, with battle scars showing, saying, this is who I am. Take it or watch it. Rise without you. Yes, it's lonely at the top, but you know what's lonelier? Waking up at 70, wondering what could have been, wondering what would have happened if you just said yes to the grind. If you just said no to the distractions, if you had left that comfort zone before it became your coffin. Some of you are so afraid to be uncomfortable that you're missing the very pain that would unlock your power. Pressure builds diamonds, friction sharpens swords, and loneliness builds leaders. Because in that space you learn to think. You learn to heal. You learn to stop outsourcing your worth and start owning your purpose. It's in the silence that visions come, not in the noise, not in the hype, not in the crowd. And when the noise does come, when the spotlight finally finds you, you won't be shaken. You'll be rooted because you know the cost, you know the climb, you know what it took to get here. And that's what makes it real. So don't run from the loneliness. Embrace it. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's where you learn to stop begging for crumbs and start baking your own bread. It's where you go from follower to force. It's where you shed the need to be understood and become undeniable. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't wait for your schedule. It doesn't show up in convenience. It comes for those who show up in chaos, who choose growth over comfort, who pick courage over company. And if that means walking alone for a season, walk it. Better to walk alone in purpose than be surrounded in mediocrity. Better to build alone than party with people going nowhere. Better to be the only voice in your corner than be in a crowd full of claps that disappear when you fall. Because real success, the kind that lasts, isn't handed out. It's earned in silence. It's shaped in solitude. It's paid for with time, tears, and tenacity. And when it finally comes, when the reward matches the relentless grind you gave, you'll know it was worth every mile walked alone. So yes, success is lonely, but so is regret. Choose your silence. One will echo with the sound of purpose, the other with the sound of too late. You've got to get real with yourself right now. Look in the mirror and stop pretending you're okay with average. You're not. You weren't built for it. You weren't created just to survive. You were created to become, to rise, to dominate your space, to leave something behind that screams, I was here. I didn't play it safe. I didn't waste the breath God gave me. I used it. Let me tell you something. Comfort is a lie. It whispers soft lies to your potential and tucks your greatness into a bed of procrastination. It tells you it's fine, you've got time, but time doesn't take orders from your feelings. Time doesn't stop because you're tired. Time doesn't pause while you scroll your life away. Time moves. And the most painful reality in this life is knowing you had time and you wasted it. Let that sink in. Every minute you spend doubting yourself is a minute you could have been building. Every hour you give to fear is an hour stolen from your destiny. Every day you postpone that dream is a day someone else runs past you. Someone with less talent but more hunger. Because hunger beats hype every single time. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. Get up, start, write the book, shoot the content, launch the business. End the toxic relationship that's been draining your power like a leech attached to your soul. Stop negotiating with your limits. You weren't called to blend in. You were called to break the mold. And if that makes people uncomfortable, let them be uncomfortable. Because when you shrink to keep others calm, you betray the fire God put in you. And one day that fire will turn into smoke and you'll be left choking on the ashes of what could have been. Don't let that be your story. Your future is not going to come knocking on your door with balloons and confetti. It's going to wait in the shadows for you to show up and fight for it. And yeah, it's going to be lonely sometimes. That's the toll for rising, because you're going where most people don't have the courage to go. You're doing what they're too distracted, too broken, too lazy, or too scared to do. You're stretching your soul. You're showing up on days when no one claps. You're waking up early when your body screams sleep and staying up late when your spirit screams build. And that's not punishment. That's purpose. You're being carved, not crushed, molded, not mangled, shaped into the kind of person who can carry the weight of real success, not the microwave version that looks good for a moment then crumbles. No, you're after the real thing. Longevity, legacy, impact that outlives your timeline, impact that echoes long after your name is no longer trending. But here's the catch. Impact doesn't happen in the crowd. It happens in the wilderness, in the alone seasons, in the moments when you feel invisible but still keep working. That's where warriors are made, not in comfort, not in applause, but in obscurity. So don't despise your lonely season. Use it. That loneliness, that's your classroom. That rejection, that's your fuel. That silence, that's your sacred space to plan your next bold move. The crowd will come later. The claps will come later. Right now, you're building your core, because if you skip the lonely season, you'll never survive the harvest season. Everybody wants the glow up, but nobody wants to go through. Everybody wants the elevation, but nobody wants the isolation. But you're different. You're done making excuses. You're done explaining your dreams to people who only know how to settle. You're done waiting for the perfect moment, because you are the moment. And if that means walking alone, then so be it. Walk with fire in your vein. Walk with tears in your eyes, but a sword in your hand. Walk like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't have time to keep playing small. You don't have time to keep shrinking. The window is open now. The door is cracked now. Push through, because the truth is, you've already survived worse. You've already walked through fires that should have burned you down. You've already come back from betrayal, heartbreak, failure, and shame. And guess what? You're still standing, still breathing, still here. Don't waste the grace you were given. Don't let the pain be in vain. Turn it into power. Use the loneliness as leverage, because when your success story is finally told, people won't remember the parties you missed. They won't remember the nights you stayed in. They won't remember the days you didn't post. They'll remember the results. They'll see what you built. And by then, you won't even care who clapped, because you'll have become someone who no longer needs an audience, only assignment. So go ahead, walk your path, climb your mount, build your arc, and let them laugh. Let them question you. Let them walk away. Let them misunderstand you. Because at the end of the day, the only voice that needs to believe in you is yours. And that voice, that fire inside you, it's not an accident. It's the proof that success is calling. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you're destined to be is a decision. Will you rise, or will you rot? Will you lean into the pain of progress, or the paralysis of regret? Will you fight or fold? Because success is lonely, but regret is haunting. Regret follows you into your dreams and poisons your peace. Success may ask you to eat alone, build alone, cry alone, but it will feed you. It will elevate you. It will give you a peace no applause can match. So if you're lonely right now, if you're grinding and no one's watching, if you're praying and nothing's moving, good. That means you're on the path. Now stay there. Stay in the fire until you're forged. Stay in the fight until you're free. And when they ask how you made it, you won't say luck. You won't say magic. You'll say, I chose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. I chose to walk alone until I found my tribe. I chose my calling over their comfort. I chose me. So many people never reach their destiny, not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't smart, not even because they didn't want it. They failed because they didn't want it bad enough. They wanted comfort more than calling. They wanted validation more than vision. They wanted to be liked more than they wanted to be legendary. And when life got hard, when the crowd thinned out, when the praise stopped, when the setbacks started, they folded, but not you. You've been through too much. You've seen too much. You've survived too much to fall now. Because deep down, you know something sacred. You didn't come this far just to come this far. That pain, it wasn't pointless. That struggle, it wasn't random. It was all building you, all molding you, all preparing you for the level most people aren't willing to earn, the level where the air is thin, the light is rare, and the noise fades. Because it's quiet at the top, and that silence, it's not emptiness, it's focus, it's clarity. It's the reward for every lonely night, every silent prayer, every unanswered call where you chose work instead of whining. It's the sound of legacy being written, and you don't need a crowd to witness it. You only need one witness, you. Because when you look back on your life years from now, you won't remember who didn't support you. You'll remember who you became because they didn't. You'll remember the version of yourself that rose from nothing. The one who had every reason to quit but kept walking anyway. The one who turned silence into strategy, who turned solitude into strength, who stopped asking for permission and started giving themselves power. That's what this is about. This is not about being famous. This is not about being seen. This is about being unshakable, being so grounded in your purpose that no betrayal can break you, being so in tune with your calling that you don't need confirmation because the vision already chose you. You didn't stumble into your potential. It's not a coincidence you're still here, listening to this, breathing, standing, building. You are still here for a reason. There's more for you, more to create, more to change, more to become, but to step into it, you've got to stop begging for comfort. Stop negotiating with average. Stop checking your phone for likes when you should be checking your soul for purpose. Put your phone down, pick your discipline up, because nobody's coming to remind you. Nobody's coming to wake you up at 5 a.m. Nobody's coming to push you through the fear. Nobody's coming to rescue you from your own patterns. It's on you. Your habits will either betray you or build you. Your discipline will either crown you or chain you. Your decisions will either serve your future or satisfy your fears. So choose wisely, because every time you choose convenience, you dig the grave of your own greatness. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you bury another inch of potential. Every time you avoid the hard thing, you feed the very monster that's been holding you back your entire life. Regret is not loud at first. It starts small, quiet compromises, soft lies, little justifications. But over time, it becomes unbearable. It becomes the voice that says, you could have been so much more. And it will haunt you. It will echo in your mind in the silence of a life unlived. But you've still got time. You've still got fire. You've still got breath in your lungs. And that means you've still got a choice right now. In this moment, you get to choose your pain, the pain of pushing when you're tired, the pain of watching someone else take what was meant for you, the pain of growing when it's uncomfortable, or the pain of being stuck for the rest of your life, the pain of walking alone, or the pain of sitting in a room full of people who never move. You decide, and no, it won't be easy. You'll cry, you'll lose people, you'll question everything. You'll walk through seasons where it feels like nothing is happening, but everything is. Because the real work, the real transformation, it happens in the dark. It happens when nobody's clapping. It happens when nobody's watching. That's where legends are born, not in the light, but in the lonely. So don't run from the dark, learn to see in it. Don't run from the quiet, learn to hear your calling in it. Don't run from the hard, lean into it until it breaks or you do. And I promise you this, it won't be you. You're not built to break. You're built to break through. So let them doubt you. Let them sleep on you. Let them scroll past your progress. You don't need their attention. You need your alignment. Because when it all clicks, when the seeds you planted in pain finally bloom, you will not need to say a word. Your results will speak louder than their opinions ever did. And the best part, you'll know it was you, not luck, not chance, but you. You made the choice. You stayed the course. You walked alone and came out on the other side unrecognizable. To the version of you that once begged for company, you became the person no one saw coming because you were too busy building when they were busy watching. So yes, success is lonely, but in that loneliness, you'll find the greatest friend of all, purpose. And purpose, it never leaves you. It doesn't ghost you. It doesn't get jealous. It doesn't flake when it gets hard. It guides you. It grounds you. It grows you. Until one day you'll wake up and realize you're not alone anymore, because your tribe found you, because your mission found its voice, because your sacrifice found its reward. And regret will have nothing to say, because you didn't wait. You walked, you worked, you worked. Let me say this to you one last time, not as a coach, not as a voice in your headphones, but as someone who's walked through the shadows of silence, as someone who's been counted out, overlooked, underestimated, dismissed. You are not finished. You are becoming something the world isn't ready for. And maybe that's why they left. Maybe that's why they didn't support you. Maybe that's why they laughed, because they couldn't see the giant inside you waking up. But you can feel it, can't you? That low hum inside your chest, That quiet fire that refuses to go out no matter how cold the world gets. That inner push telling you to try again, not because you failed, but because there's more. And you don't want to live the rest of your life haunted by the echo of what you could have done. You want the satisfaction of knowing you emptied yourself into your calling. You want to leave this earth with nothing left to give because you gave it all. That's real success. It's not the money. It's not the followers. It's not the fame. It's looking in the mirror and seeing someone who didn't give up when it got lonely, someone who didn't fold when it got hard, someone who kept showing up even when no one showed up for them. That kind of power can't be bought. It can't be taught. It can only be earned. And listen to me, there is nothing more dangerous than a man or woman who has earned their fire through the lonely path, because those people, they don't flinch, they don't panic, they don't fold, they walk with purpose, even if their feet bleed. They speak with power, even if their voice shakes. They move with faith, even if fear sits heavy on their shoulders, because they know what it costs to stay in the valley, and they refuse to die there. They refuse to make regret their inheritance. And you are one of them. I know you felt tired. I know you've questioned the timing. I know you've watched people pass you by and wondered, when is it going to be my turn? Let me tell you something most people won't. Sometimes your turn comes after you learn how to clap for others. Sometimes your moment is delayed on purpose, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because the success you're meant for isn't small. It's not average. It's massive. And massive impact requires massive character. You gotta be strong enough not to destroy it when it finally shows up. And that's what this lonely season is doing. It's humbling you. It's sharpening you. It's stretching you so that when the door opens, you don't walk in small. You walk in certain. You don't walk in asking for a seat. You build your own table. You walk in knowing this is mine because you fought for it. You bled for it. You broke cycles for it. You chose healing over hiding. You chose growth over gossip. You chose vision over vengeance. And now you're ready to lead, ready to live, ready to stand in the fullness of who you were, always becoming. You're not the same person you were when you started this journey. And thank God for that. You've evolved. Your eyes see differently. Your ears hear differently. Your spirit moves differently. You've outgrown old conversations, outgrown old spaces, outgrown the version of you that needed to be liked to feel valid, because now you know purpose popularity. Now you know legacy likes. Now you know one day of peace from living in truth is better than a lifetime of pretending for applause. So let me ask you again, one last time, will you trade the sacred solitude of success for the shallow comfort of regret? Or will you walk forward, even if it's with shaking legs and a trembling heart? Because make no mistake, you can. You don't need every step planned. You don't need every answer right now. You just need momentum. You need to say, I'm not staying here. I'm not dying in this version. I'm not settling for a story that ends with almost, because almost successful is still unsuccessful. Almost happy is still miserable. Almost brave is still fearful. But you are not almost. You are already worthy, already powerful, already called. Now walk like it, live like it, build like it. And when it gets quiet again, when the world turns its back, or your phone doesn't ring, or the nights stretch long and the voices in your head get loud again, you whisper back, I'm still going. You remind yourself why you started. You anchor your soul in the truth that nothing great was ever built in a crowd. It was built in the cave, in the dark, in the wild, in the silence. That's where champions rise. That's where kings are crowned. That's where women become warriors. That's where history gets rewritten. And that's where you are now. So don't despise it. Don't fear it. Honor it. Let the loneliness sharpen you, not scare you. Let the silence grow you, not break you. Let the hard things shape you into someone the world can't ignore. Because one day, not too far from now, you're going to look back and be grateful that it didn't come easy. Grateful that they left you. Grateful that it got quiet. Grateful that it got lonely. Because without that season, you would have never discovered what was really in you. The strength, the stillness, the storm. And in that moment, that sacred full circle moment, regret won't have a voice. Because you chose differently. You chose discipline. You chose purpose. You chose to build when it was hard, so you could stand when it was time. And when they ask, how did you do it? You'll smile with a fire in your eyes and say, I walked alone until I didn't have to anymore. And that's success. To me,